Hello, today is Monday, May 10th, 2021. I am embarking on another experiment. I am going to take Citra Solv, which is a solvent, place it in that glass jar, and dissolve styrofoam chips in it. So that's a whole bag of styrofoam chips. So let's see how much the Citra Solv dissolves. I'll try placing about an inch in the jar right now. You can hear it fizzing. You can see how much Citra Solv I've placed in there. So I'm just going to keep going. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this in the end. This is almost at the point where I can use this. I'm not a scientist, but these styrofoam chips are nothing but a form of plastic. And if I continue to add more styrofoam chips, the Citra Solv would become so saturated with the styrofoam chips that it would actually turn into a solid. But I don't want it to be a solid. I want it to be a solution that I can use in my artwork to provide like a coating or almost like a waterproofing or something you just wanted to place a plastic coating on. Now you can see these are almost dissolved. I still might add some more. I have used this before. I will show you a piece that I used it on, and it created a very nice exterior coating. So I'm going to add some more. It's almost there. But I think I'm going to add just some more. Maybe try and stuff this bottle like 5 more times. See where I get. Remember the bag? The bag was full to the top. I used that much. So I'm going to keep going. Maybe get to half of the bag. And then stop. Okay, this is what it looks like. I stopped adding styrofoam chips to it. You can see that it has a thick consistency. I don't know, maybe a little more runnier than glue. If I added more styrofoam chips, it would become thicker. But I want to be able to use it with a brush and to apply it with a thin coating. Now, I did this one time before, and I used it on, this is paper clay. And I really wanted it to be coated well so that if humidity came, it wouldn't affect the paper clay, because you know when humidity comes, things start to get a little soft. So my first batch, I made it and I applied it the same day because I wasn't sure that it was gonna solidify. So I applied this. I also had some like glitter in this. I don't know if you can see the glitter. You probably can't see the glitter in this, but there is some glitter in it. But this, you know, that's the sheen I got with it. You can see it has a slightly yellow tinge because the Citra Solv is yellow. So I don't know how you get away from that, but that's what the first batch came out looking like. And I did this close to a year ago. So, you know, just taking note of that. Now this, I'm going to test it out tomorrow because I want to see what happens to it overnight. And plus if you choose to do this experiment as with doing anything with Citra Solv, make sure that you do it outside and that you have adequate ventilation. I like Citra Solv, the smell of it for about 10 seconds, and then I can't take it anymore. I don't know, it gives me a headache and everything else. So I'm not going to tackle this tonight. I will tackle it tomorrow morning, but I want to apply it like to paper, like for your collage projects or, like that faux paper leather that I was working on a couple of videos ago. That might make it very sturdy and maybe even waterproof. So that is something to consider, but I will tackle it tomorrow. I would say from that whole large bag of styrofoam chips, I use between 25 and 30% of the chips. And I only got that much. So, but you can also use anything styrofoam, the styrofoam trays that you get in a supermarket. You can use those. So, it's a good way to kind of lessen all of that stuff that we just throw away and we don't know what to do with it. And it just, stays in the landfills forever and ever and ever and ever. All right, I'll let you know what happens tomorrow when I try it out. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May something. I don't know, 24th, 25th, 2021. I am attempting an experiment. This is a bowl that I made. It's going on I'd say about 2 years now that I made this bowl. It is completely made out of paper clay, let's say. It has been stained and maybe varnished. I'm not really sure. Or polyurethaned. I don't really remember. But I am going to attempt in my continuation with the Citra Solv solvent and the styrofoam chips. In an earlier clip, I showed how I dissolved these chips into this solvent. So what I'm going to attempt to do is I have some gold leaf here, which I've always wanted to apply to this bowl. I could never find the leaf, but I found the leaf today. So I'm going to apply the gold leaf. And then as a protective covering over my favorite piece of paper clay, I know I'm taking a chance, but I think it's going to work. I'm going to apply this over the inside and the outside as a coating. So it should protect it from any moisture and any humidity. So we shall see. I've had this, once again, I've had it like for 2 years. It's never gotten soft or wonky. I mean, when I first made it, I guess it took a while to cure. The longer it sat around, the longer it cured, the harder it became. So let's see what happens. On second thought, I think I will try this piece first because it is not my favorite paper clay piece. And it is a paper clay piece. So I'm going to apply the gold leaf to this and then apply the plastic coating over this. And then we'll see how that goes. And then maybe move on to my bowl. Okay, I lightly applied the mixture with a sponge brush on this piece. I did that because the gold leaf was not going to adhere. It needed something to make it adhere. So I applied it to the piece. I took the gold leaf, which was in horrible condition. It was just bits and pieces. And I just took it and tried to smear it in all the crevices that I could. Not overdoing it, but it's a little here and there, as you can see. Maybe you can see. I don't think you can really see, but either it looks like pieces of flecks of gold, or imagine some gold eye makeup kind of smeared on a bowl. That's the best way I can describe it. So now I'm going to take a brush to make sure that I get into every nook and cranny and coat this inside and out. And I will do it with the other piece. And I'm going to call it a done deal and see how it dries. Does it dry tacky? Does it dry clear? I know I've done this before, but I want to see if I get the same results as when I did it the first time. So now I'm going to do that, and I will come back to you. Okay, here is the bowl. I just finished coating it. Here is the other piece. You can see the difference. If you want gloss, I guess you're going to go that way. This is what the piece looks like before I apply it, and then I will show you afterwards. Okay, this is what it looks like after I have applied it. It might look a little milky, so let's see what happens as it dries. Is that going to clear? I was probably a little heavy-handed with it because I wanted it to get in the nooks and crannies, but we shall see. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to see if I can clean these brushes, which will also tell me something about its reaction with water. And I am going to get some fresh air because it smells very citrusy in here. Hello, today is Wednesday, May 26, 2021. This is 24 hours later after having applied the styrofoam chip Citra Solv mixture. This is, dry to the touch. It's not tacky or anything. I did let it dry like this. You can see it does dry with a shiny coat. If I go a little deeper, you might see a bit of like cloudiness or translucency. It's not like 100% clear. It could have been because I applied a heavy coat to this because I wanted to get into the nooks and crannies. So maybe later on as the days go by, it will clear up. If you can see me applying the gold thin like paper, I forget what you call it. It didn't even help at all. This inside may be slightly so tacky because it had not dried that way. So I'm going to dry it this way, and it should dry. It's because it was upside down. It did pull because I applied a heavy coat. It did pull along the edges, and as I came today, it was still soft enough for me to pick some of that off. So, I'm just trying to point out everything. If I wanted to, I could just go over the edge again with a very thin coat. I would say a little goes a long way in using this. This is what I have left. And I did not have much more than this when I first started. And I applied heavy coats. So I would say a little goes a long way. This is the other piece. It looks better to me. It doesn't have that cloudy residue look. Maybe I didn't apply such a heavy coat to it. So I'm going to call this done. Maybe I'll give an update like a couple of months later to see exactly how they are faring. As I said, this is about 6 months old. And it is perfectly fine. This was just paper clay. It had no staining, no varnish, no anything on it. So this had no protective coat, and I used the Citra Solv Styrofoam chip mixture. Now these had stain on them and probably some protective coat. But this does remind me a lot of the Liquitex medium. I just don't know if it would dry clear like that. But if you want something with a shine, I would say, you know, go for it. This is just experimenting, me just experimenting. As you can see there, look at that. Because it wasn't dry. I could easily still kind of pick this off. I would not suggest using this on, you know, something that's very important to you. But if you want to continue on and maybe experiment, you know, you may want to do that. I used like maybe a fifth of that huge bag of styrofoam chips that I have. And if I apply that whole thing to the Citra Solv bottle, because I'm just not too keen on the Citra Solv. It's such a strong odor. I mean, yesterday I had to leave after I did it. I would strongly suggest that if you're going to do this, you do it outside. When I came in today, it was better, and it will get better as the days go on and the smell dissipates. But it is very, very, very strong in the beginning, in my opinion. That is only my opinion, okay? You might want to try another solvent that would dissolve the styrofoam chips that maybe doesn't have that smell. But, you know, this could be another medium that you incorporate into your art projects or what have you. I mean, I bought Liquitex in the past, and it's a little pricey, in my opinion. But if I could use this in exchange for that and work a way around it, I just might do that. So that's my experiment. Maybe this information was helpful to someone. All right. Have a great day. Bye.